Hi everyone. In this video I want to show you basic axe attacks and combos in as much details as possible. We will talk about axe combos in general and then discuss basic attacks and all their variations considering damage numbers, animation speed, and stamina usage. This includes jump attacks and roll attacks. We'll discuss in details how to interrupt behemoths and how resolve mechanics work. And finally, I'll show you the best way to gain special meter by charging your axe and find the best combos among hundreds possible. This will allow us to develop a raw combat strategy for you to use and further develop while you'll gain more experience. Let's start. A complete axe combo consists of 4 attacks and other actions, which I divide into 6 stages. First you approach a behemoth, then you charge your first attack, then you perform your first attack, second attack, charge again, and do the last 2 attacks. These are 6 stages. The 3 attack stages I call opening, thrust, and finish. At opening you choose either to do a vertical swing or a horizontal swing. At thrust you can do either a short thrust or a long thrust. And at finish you do either repetitive chops, which you can do indefinitely many, or 2 side flips. All 3 stages are independent. That means that you can interchange attacks within every stage. This already gives you 8 combinations. 2x2x2, just from attacks. But, besides attacks themselves there are other important decisions to make. Specifically, you charge your first attack, and the third attack. You can charge them up to 3 times. Charged attacks deal more damage and allow you to gain a special meter. When you fill the special meter and perform a special attack you gain a determination stack, which gives you a 12% semi-permanent buff to the axe damage. You can repeat this procedure up to 3 times, getting 3 determination stacks, and increasing the buff to plus 50%, which is a lot. That's why this is very important choice to make when you charge your axe, and how many times. And last, but not least, the way you approach behemoth can change your combo. If you jump and do the attack in the air you can move almost freely during this attack, but you cannot charge this attack. If you roll you skip your first attack entirely, and move immediately to the second attack. All these gives you 176 combinations, and these are only fully finished combos. If we consider other combos, like from 2 attacks, or 1 attack only, the number will much bigger. So I would say this has more options than any other weapon has, and definitely more valid options than any other weapon has. It's very easy to get lost in all these options. I hope this video will help you to make better decisions and to make them faster. Before we go into more details, you need to keep in mind one thing. Left left right right combo. Vertical swing into short thrust and 2 side flips. This combo is fast and deals a lot of damage. It has the highest DPS among all combos. That's why this combo is a baseline for whatever you are doing. You will alter it, but almost never you change it entirely. The most of the damage comes from the last attack in the combo, 700 base damage. And this is the second thing to keep in mind while you watching this video, that it's very important to finish your combos. All shorter combos are less effective. You should use them only when you don't have enough time for a full combo. One more time. First, in most of the cases, you will be using left left right right combo and its variations. Second, when it is possible you must finish the combo. The last attack deals a lot of damage and you cannot neglect it. Now let's move step by step, starting with single attacks. Axe has two attacks. First is vertical swing, which you do by pressing left click on mouse, X on Xbox controller, or square on PS4 controller. Second attack is horizontal swing, which you do by pressing right click or Y or triangle. You can do jump attacks in the air, both vertical and horizontal. And you can do roll attack, but rolling replaces your attack, so your next attack will count as a second attack in the combo, and it will be thrust, not a swing. Both vertical and horizontal swings deal the same 200 base damage, which can be further increased by perks and weapon upgrades. Vertical attack deals this damage a bit later than horizontal, but the whole attack animation is faster, which means higher DPS when you do vertical swing. On the other hand, horizontal swing has a much wider hitbox and easier to land. You can charge your attacks by holding the attack button. Charging attacks will increase their damage, but it will hardly increase their damage per second, since it takes a lot of time to charge your attack, and, as you remember, for the best DPS you need to complete a full left-left-right-right combo. The main reason to charge an attack is to fill the special meter and get the determination damage buff. How to do this the most efficiently we will discuss later, after we learn all attack stages. All you need to know at the moment is that both vertical and horizontal swings give you exactly the same amount of the meter gain. Charged vertical swing both deals more damage and is faster than charged horizontal. On the other hand, you cannot move or rotate your character while charging or performing vertical attack. Charged horizontal attack can be held indefinitely long and allows you to reposition. Be wary of overcharging your vertical swing. If you hold the button for too long, the character will release the weapon and perform the attack. Despite your will, this attack will deal 25% less damage. Quite a lot. Even when you don't hold it that long and the damage is fine. Bad charge timings mean that your attack takes longer time than necessary. You waste your time this way. Meanwhile, time is what allows you to execute more efficient combos. You need to practice and learn how much time it takes exactly to charge an axe to each charge level. Then your combos become faster and longer. Let's talk about stamina. When your stamina bar is full, you have 100 stamina points, which can be increased up to 110 by doing mastery. Usual vertical attacks don't consume stamina. Charged attacks consume a small amount of stamina, up to 11 points, when you charge vertical attack 3 times. This is 10% of your stamina bar, and most of the time you can ignore this. You will recover stamina while doing second and fourth attacks in the combo. On the other hand, horizontal attacks always consume stamina, even if you do not charge them. Uncharged takes 5 stamina, fully charged 26, which is hard to ignore. For comparison, rolling consumes 20 stamina. If you hold horizontal attack long enough, it can consume all of your stamina. This is another reason to prefer vertical attacks over horizontal. But there is one place where horizontal attacks are the best. It's behemoth interrupts, also known as booping. Here you would need a wide hitbox to do not miss a moving target. Also, you need a fast attack animation to make prediction easier. Full horizontal attack animation is slow, but it deals damage very quickly after the animation starts, and this is exactly what we need. And if you charge it in advance, the damage comes even quicker. While charging the attack, you can walk, so you can move away from the behemoth path and still being able to hit it. You should walk to the right and try to hit Behemoth with the end of your swing. If you look closely at the swing animation, you'll see that it starts with two-handed grip and ends with one-handed, thereby the swing has a much higher range at the end of the animation. And it spends more time there, so it's harder to miss. If we compare all this to vertical attack, which has no movement, a small hitbox, and spends most of its time above your head, where it cannot hit Behemoth before it hits you, we can conclude that horizontal swing is just way superior. You basically must never use vertical swings for interrupts. There is one more mechanics we need to talk about. It is resolve. If you charge your vertical attack 3 times and release the button just a fraction of a second after the last charge happens, you'll shine gold and get a special state, which is called resolve. It lasts till the end of the attack animation, and 1 more second after it. In this state, even if Behemoth hits you, they will not interrupt your attack. You will still receive damage, but will hold your position, like nothing happened. This way you can continue your combo, despite being hit, and deal a lot of damage, and gain a lot of special meter charge. That's the idea, at least. Unfortunately, it is not very practical due to current build meta. Tier 1 builds at the moment use Predator perk, which gives you plus 35% damage buff. When you play perfectly, the buff disappears for 15 seconds when you receive damage. And you do receive damage in the resolve state. It just doesn't worth it. Even Tier 2 builds, which are low life builds, do not support this mechanic. You need to be below 50% HP for such builds to work, and receiving damage will make you either to die or to heal and to lose low life bonuses. But with the recent release of Discipline perk, resolve with low life builds became more viable, since healing will not break your low life setup. Still, in this case, you can use it just a few times during the fight. A better option for those who are eager to try this mechanics out would be Tier 3 builds, which are based on Iceborne perk, which provides an infinite healing. There are 2 ways to use resolve. I call them clean and gamble. Clean is pure prediction. You see the Behemoth starts a long animation. You pick the right moment and start vertical attack, and end it right when Behemoth hits you. Unfortunately, there are not many opportunities to do this. The time window between the start of attack animation and the start of resolve is 2.5 seconds, or about 1.7 seconds if you use a couple of attack speed buffs. Add to this 0.2 seconds of human reaction time. This is a long time period, and vast majority of Behemoth animations are faster. There are just a few moves which provide you a clean resolve opportunity. But it's pretty fun to find those moves and to use resolve with them. The gamble way is different. You start the attack before you know what Behemoth will do. While charging your attack, you watch what Behemoth is doing. If the Behemoth has started an animation and is going to hit you exactly when you get full charge, you win. If not, you lose. Which means that either Behemoth attack is too fast and you need to end your attack right away with 1 or 0 charge, or his attack is too slow and forces you to break your combo in the middle. It's not fun to gamble, at least not for me. Resolve is a cool and fun mechanics, but with current meta you should not use it if you want to be efficient. Let's do a brief summary. Vertical swing, comparing to horizontal, is faster and deals more damage, and it costs almost no stamina. It's your best option in most of the cases. On the other hand, if you need to interrupt a behemoth, horizontal swing is much better than vertical. If you jump, your attacks become kinda weird and cool. They allow you to slide very fast along the ground, and don't cost any stamina. The slide is longer with horizontal attack than with vertical. Just make sure to hold the sprint button, or the movement will be much less fluid. If you do hold the sprint, you will be as fast as other sprinting slayers. It's a great way to move without sheathing your weapon. It allows you to start your combo before you even reach the behemoth. Also, you can control your movement and can dodge at the same time as you are attacking. What is even more amazing, your attacks become much faster. Even though the jump takes some time, it is faster to jump first and then attack than just simply attack. In addition, both vertical and horizontal jump attacks take the same time, so now you don't need to worry about small vertical hitbox, just use horizontal attack all the time. I'm exaggerating a bit. Vertical's still good if you are aiming for a specific part, for example, to hit behemoth head with Draskax. And, well, you can hit Razakuri with it, but it's rather funny than useful. The only thing you need to worry about with jump attacks is meter gain. They don't give you any, since you can't charge them. That's why you should not use them that often. But for interrupts, jumping attacks are just too good to ignore. You will deal less damage than charged horizontal attack, but you will move much faster, and you can avoid being knocked down more easily. Also, you will save your stamina. You should kinda try to fly around it and aim for the behemoth, but rather than the front. When hitbox is wide and you cannot avoid collision, just do what you did with normal horizontal attack and try to hit behemoth with the end of your swing. Even in this case, the interrupt will be easier with jump attack since you can move towards behemoth. This works just like a roll, which, as you know, is easier when you roll towards the attack, not away from it. Then you make your way through faster. In rare cases, when the interrupt able attack happens when you are too close, walk left and use the beginning of your swing. And there is a third case when behemoth stops before reaching you. Then jumping attack can help you to get just the right distance to hit behemoth, and don't get hit by it. Of course, if you have stamina and know that you are able to interrupt just as well with a normal horizontal attack, do this. It will deal up to 3 times more damage and give you meter charge. Rolling will skip the first attack in the combo and will make you do the second attack, which is thrust. right away. Rolling takes significant amount of time and costs 20 stamina. That's why you should not do a rolling attack unless you need to dodge through an attack or if you want to do a lot of damage in a small time window. Then roll can help you to reach the end of your combo as fast as possible. You can interrupt Behemoth with roll thrust just like with any other attack, but it's not the most efficient way to boot, unless the Behemoth moves slow enough, like Pangar. The only place where interrupt with roll attack is superior is for Skarn Tornado attack, especially after it hits you, and you are on the ground. To summarize, jump horizontal attacks are the best in terms of movement, quick damage and safe interrupts, but you can't charge them, so do not overuse them. Jump vertical attacks are similar but worse, due to its vertical hitbox. There are usually no reasons to use them. Roll attacks on their own deal just a little damage and consume a lot of stamina, but they allow you to perform fastest combos possible. Now, let's talk about thrusts in more details. It is second attack in the combo. Press left click X or square to make a short thrust. The character will move one step in that direction. Press right click Y or triangle to perform a long thrust or moving thrust. It is slower, but the character moves 2 wide steps forward. You can choose any thrust you like independently of your choice on the previous stages, and before performing the thrust you can redirect your character a bit, if you need to. Both thrust attack deal the same damage 160, and there is no stamina cost either way. Short thrust is more effective in majority of the cases, it's faster, and deals more damage per second. Moving thrust is slower, but it's very useful when your position is not ideal. Use it when you miscalculate your first swing, or when you stagger Behemoth. But even a short thrust moves you forward a bit. It will be good enough in most of the cases. You cannot charge thrust attack, but if you've charged your first attack, thrust will increase your special meter. You can interrupt with normal thrust just like with roll attack, but it's never worth it unless it's a spontaneous decision mid-combo. To summarize, short thrust deals little damage, but it's quite fast, and costs no stamina. Moving thrust is slower, but allows you to reposition mid-combo. Last 2 attacks are bound together. You either do 2 right clicks or 2 left clicks. If you try to mix them, you do only 1 attack and don't finish the combo. You can choose any of these 2 options independently of what you did at the previous stages. It's called combo crossover. 2 right clicks result in a double side flip swing. This is your main source of damage. While doing them you can change attack direction, and move a bit closer to Behemoth. You can charge third attack, but not fourth. Unlike the very first attack in the combo, charging your third attack actually good for overall DPS of the combo, since the charging happens faster and boost damage up to 800. Additionally, the third attack is closer to the end of the combo, so it will be easier for you to see if you have enough time to charge it. Charge it as many times as possible, when you are sure you can finish the combo with it. Uncharged attacks don't consume stamina. Charging attacks consume a little stamina, up to 15 points. Third attack also has resolve, but you can't really predict behemoth behavior during the full combo, so the only way to use it is the gamble. Our next 5 left clicks combo, or chopping combo, is meant to give you meter quickly. Before we go into details on this combo, let's talk about how exactly we gain special meter. When you charge an attack, this attack and all the following attacks will fill your meter, even if you don't charge them. If you put one charge into combo, each attack will give you 3% of the meter. If you put all 6 charges, each attack will give you 21% of the meter. The meter gain doesn't depend on what kind of attacks you do, only on their amount. Whether it's left click or right click doesn't matter. Note that charging an attack doesn't increase damage of the follow-up attacks. Here I show you a table with the examples of how much meter you gain and how much damage you do with side flip combo depending on how much you charge your weapon. Feel free to pause the video and read the whole table to get a better feeling on how the charging works. 2 things which are important to notice. First, when you start to charge your combos rather than execute them uncharged, you start to gain meter very fast, but the damage doesn't increase that quickly. And the second thing, if you charge third attack rather than first, you gain significantly less meter. Now let's move to the combo. If you do left click starting from third attack in the combo, you get a stationary uppercut, followed by repetitive overhead chops. The idea behind this combo is that you charge your first and third attacks in the combo, and then all following attacks give you the highest possible meter gain. Since you can repeat them indefinitely, you can indefinitely gain the meter. Unfortunately, it's not that great for 3 reasons. First, it needs a ton of time to execute. If you want to do 2 chops, it will take you 10.5 seconds without speed buffs, so most of the time you will fail to complete this combo. Second, these attacks are completely immobile and can be hard to land. And the last reason, you sacrifice about 20% of your DPS doing this combo just to charge your weapon up to 10% with 2 chops, or 20% with 3 chops, faster. Let's just talk for a bit why exactly we fill our meter. The final aim of it to get stacks of determination and deal more damage at the end of the fight. Basically, you sacrifice damage at the start of the fight to gain damage at the end of the fight. We need to ask the question, when does it worth it? Let's consider a 2-minute long fight, displayed as a green line. The blue lines are the determination stacks you gain during the combat. Each determination level gives you damage buffs, plus 12.5%, plus 30%, plus 50%. It takes about 30 seconds to fill your meter and up the determination damage boost. The fight may be longer or faster depending on player's skill level, but the meter gain duration is changed the same. Better players will fill the meter faster. On average, it's 1/4 of the fight per 1 determination level. Now let's say we find a way to gain ourselves 20% faster meter gain, so we get determination faster. This way, for 6 seconds, at the end of the first quarter we deal 12% more damage than we used to. For 12 seconds at the second quarter we deal 17% more damage. And at the third quarter it's 20% more damage for 18 seconds. This way we deal more damage for about 30% of the fight, and it is about plus 18% more damage on average. We multiply these numbers to normalize on the whole fight duration. The result is we deal 5% more damage on average. Notice that this is 5% of our base damage we deal during the fight. The real damage is higher, since it's boosted by buffs and perks and determination. If we normalize on the real damage, the number will be even lower. Another thing to remember is that oftentimes you get full meter mid-combo, and the rest of the theoretical meter gain in this combo is wasted. Typically, faster you gain meter, more you waste. But anyway, we divide 20 meter gain speed by 5 and conclude that for each 1% of the damage boost we need more than 4% of meter gain speed boost. By the way, this is the reason why energized perk is not good. It gives you plus 40% meter gain, which translates to less than plus 10% damage for axe. Other perks easily beat it. Another thing important to notice, that while the fight is going, the speed at which you charge axe becomes less and less valuable, since there are less time to benefit from it. Let's say we are in the second quarter of the fight, which means we have one stack of determination already. We start to try hard and fill our meter 20% faster than usual. Due to our hard work we get 6 seconds where we deal 17% more damage than we used to, and 12 seconds where we deal 20% more damage than we used to. Now we need to normalize this on 90 seconds, which is the whole duration of 3 quarters we are left to fight. The result is 3.8%. This means that for every percent of the damage boost we need more than 6% of meter speed boost. When we've already got 2 determination stacks, the ratio is even lower. It's 10% of the meter boost per 1% of the damage. And the last interesting thing to consider, what if, for any reason, we couldn't finish the fight soon after we gained determination level 3? Would the meter gain speed become more important in this case? As it appears, no, basically all the numbers stay the same, only duration of the fight changed. So when we normalize on the whole fight duration we get even less damage boost. Only 4%. Similarly, if, for any reason, we kill Behemoth before we are able to charge axe 3 times, then gaining meter becomes a bit more valuable. If we come back with these numbers to our left-click combo, we see that to compensate for 20% damage loss, our combo should fill our meter at least 80% faster, which is not even close. Let's summarize. Uppercut into repetitive chops finisher can give you a big meter gain, but it is much longer and has much lower DPS than double side flip finisher. Additionally, double side flip is more mobile and costs much less stamina. The next question to answer is how much exactly you should charge your axe while doing left-right combo, and when exactly you charge it. It all comes down to how much time you have, how much meter you gain, and how much DPS you sacrifice while doing that. In order to compare all options, I did some measurements using video recording and frame counting. I've collected damage and duration data for all possible axe animations. You can see all this data in the table. Most of these numbers you've seen already. Having these numbers allow us to get damage and DPS numbers for combos, which what we are interested in. Before we start, just a little disclaimer, while measuring damage is pretty straightforward, measuring duration is tricky. I used Xbox own controller display to measure the start of the attack animation. To measure the end of the attack animation I used rolling animation. I also used Boreas Axe to learn how much exactly I overcharge my axe. All this should be enough to get precision around 1/4 frames, or again 0.05 seconds. To make it as precise as possible, I was repeating measurements several times. And, as it appeared, there were twice bigger discrepancies than I expected. My guess is that the true duration depends on the ping to Dauntless server and player can nothing to do with it. Another factor, which will make combo times slower, is human reaction time. Even super mega skilled player can't press or release the button at the exact frame when it becomes possible to move to the next action in the combo. To take into account both server and human factor, I've increased all times by 0.1 second. These are the execution times I expect a good player to have. Now let's move to the combos and figure out which are the best. We'll move step by step from longest combos to shortest and selectively compare them to get the general idea of what is good and what is bad. Imagine we have a lot of time. What is the best combo? First thing which comes to mind is to charge the axe 6 times. It's a good combo indeed. You get 60 special meter gain and quite good DPS. What is the next best? As it appears, if you charge first attack only 2 times, you can save a full second and even increase DPS by 4%. All this at the cost of 1/4 of your meter gain. It's pretty good bargain, considering half of the time your meter will be more than half full already. In this case you should not do 6 charge combo. Now, what about full charge combo with 3 attacks? Is it any good? As it appears, it is not good at all. In the same time you can execute 2+2 combo with 4 attacks and gain the same meter, while dealing 22% more damage. Alternatively, you can make it 3+1 and get even more meter, while losing damage, but it doesn't worth it. Unless you are lacking exactly these 44% to fully fill the meter, you should use 2+2 combo. Now, what if we start our combo from jump attack and charge only 3rd attack? In fact, this is the highest DPS combo we can do. But what if we need a faster meter gain? In the same time we can do 3-hit combo with 2+3 charges, or 4-hit combo with 2+1 charge. The 4-hit combo looks greatly superior to 3-hit, but is it better than the jump attack combo? It's hard to say. You gain 12 more meter, but lose 9% damage. As you remember, each percent of the damage cost 4% of the meter gain speed. So if this combo will allow you fill your meter 36% faster, it may worth it. As usual, it will depend on how full is your meter already, and how much opportunities to fill it you have. And the last, fastest 4-hit combo, jump, with no charging at all. It actually deals less damage comparing to jump combos with charge, but you may not have time to charge your axe at all. If you still need charge, you have to execute 3-hit combo. 2+1 combo takes about the same time and allow you to gain 21% of the meter at the cost of huge 29% damage loss. Now we come down to the time frames of fully charged 2-hit combo, which takes 4.2 seconds without speed buffs. In the similar time you could execute a full rolling combo, which is a great alternative if you don't need meter. Or you could do 3 attacks combo with 1 charge in it, which would be an awful choice since you would gain twice less meter while dealing the same damage. How about fully charged 1-hit? As it appears, 2-hit combo with 2 charges is straight better and can be done in exactly the same time window. One vertical attack with 2 charges take quite less time, only 2.4 seconds, and if we tried to do 2-hit combo in the same time window we would lose both charge and damage per second. If you paid attention you must have noticed a few patterns. First of all, finished combos tend to be much better than unfinished. Second, combos which start from an attack with 2 charges tend to be quite good. But if you don't need meter gain you should start from jump and charge only 3rd attack in the combo. And sometimes a dodge instead of jump, or 3 charges instead of 2 can be better. But to know when, you need very good sense of timings. Actually there are reasons for these patterns, which we can find in the input data. The last hit in the combo has 2 times higher DPS than all other hits, that's why it's important to finish the combos. The last charge of vertical attack takes a lot of time, almost a full second, that's why most of the time it doesn't worth it. Charged side flip deals a lot more damage per second than first 2 attacks, that's why it always worth charging it when you have time. With all these patterns we can come up with a very raw algorithm for decision making. If the behemoth is far away you need to ask yourself if he will move to you, and if you can predict his behavior. If you can then find a safe position next to the place where behemoth will be in a couple of seconds and start charging your attack. Then, if you manage to hit behemoth, continue left right combo. Make sure you have time to finish the combo and charge your 3rd attack as many times as you can. If behemoth is far away but you can't predict him, use jumping horizontal attack to quickly close the distance. If behemoth is close, then you need to ask yourself if you need meter. If you don't need meter, then do jump attack and perform as long combo as possible. If you do need meter, then you need to ask how much time you have, considering all attack speed buffs you have. If you have a ton of time, like behemoth is staggered or busy doing his own things, then charge your vertical attack 3 times and proceed into full combo. If you don't have that much time, but it's still enough to charge your vertical attack 2 times, then do this and perform as long combo as possible. If you can't even charge your attack 2 times, then just do a jumping attack and proceed to thrust if you have time of it. Once you are done, start from the very beginning, check the behemoth position, and so on. You must keep in mind that this is a very primitive algorithm, which doesn't take into account a lot of small details, and the devil is in the small details. It's impossible to consider all of them in a guide, so it's all up to you. I just would like to give you this small list of questions, which you should keep asking yourself to become a better slayer. Feel free to pause the video and think about them. To help you with some answers I provide a full list of good combos sorted by time, both combos to gain meter and combos for pure damage. If you want to see all other possibilities, you can find all them in a spreadsheet, which I link in the video description. Before I finish the video I would like to give a few small tips. There is an easy way to remember which attack is which. Left-click attacks are stationary and right-click attacks are moving. Some left-click attacks can change your position, but their right-click alternatives are always more mobile. Roll is bugged, and sometimes you may not be able to charge your 3rd attack in the roll combo. If this is the case for you, you may try resetting your key bindings to default. If even this doesn't help and you want to perform a rolling combo with charged attack, then you can use the moving thrust, in other words, right-click after roll. It should always work. You can use Boreas Axe to practice releasing your charged attacks as soon as possible. The buff icons will show you when the charge happens. Just be wary, you can actually release the button a few moments before charge happens and still complete the charge. Or at least this is how it feels. Horizontal attack is a very good way to clear small minions. When you are just a few percent till full meter, you can fill it by hitting critters or objects created by Behemoth. If you're using controller and going to jump a lot, you should rebind your interact action, so you don't pick flowers, nor start drinking from ether vent on accident. How to do the rebind you can find in the video description. When you play the axe, the most of your skill comes down to knowing a behemoth, its attacks timings, exact hitboxes, and prerequisites for each attack. You should have feeling on when you are going to stagger behemoth, and when its part will break. It's a long journey, I wish you luck on it.